Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Manager Career. I swear, around the Tring-Ring Motegi circuit, of course, the game is a bit glitched this season after the fiasco of Silverstone, but there's even bigger fiasco for Dan MacDonald last time out in Aragon. Probably cost him his chance at the Moto2 title, not just that glitch, but Horber out in Aragon. But now he's come to circuits where he was very successful last season. He's looking to repeat it. Firstly round here in the Tring-Ring Motegi circuit in Japan. Only the first part of the triple header, but it seems to be the middle part now. And this track has been very kind to MacDonald in the past, especially in these wet conditions. As you can see, a drying line, but we need wet tyres with lots of spray around. You can see it's cloudy overhead, so it may be raining for the race as well, hopefully. We got our rain dance on again. We've been very fortunate with the rain dance after the opening third of the season. Let's see what we can do in qualify. Remember, we do 2 laps now. So this first lap, just exploring the conditions, see what we can get away with. This way we can get away with riding some of these curbs, which you wouldn't normally expect. He's been very good rounds in the past, but he needs to be as well. Just 3 rounds left. He needs to somehow win all of them, and then hope other misfortunes happen to Morbidelli, Marquez, and Oliveira. But in Japan it does happen. In the past, his title battle with Canet, it happened, and won Mir. So maybe it'll happen for MacDonald again. He's getting into this right-hander, such a tricky braking zone. Braking around 150 metres downhill. Very easy to miss the apex. So we go over that ridge into the chicane. It's a very tricky corner as well, perhaps the most tricky on the circuit. There's MacDonald, 54. And that's ahead of Surin, who's normally so good as, oh, someone's down in the first corner. Morbidelli is down. An early crash for the title contender, the championship leader, the reigning champ as well. There you go, take a bit of that inside curve and through the next left hand. You've got loads of corners like that flow into each other around here in Motegi. So 4 tenths down on our fastest lap. And seeing the second part of that, we kind of lost a bit of time there by not being aggressive enough. So let's see if MacDonald can make that up. And miss that. Take that in 4th gear, got a fantastic exit. Got to take a tight line as now we're half a second up. There you go. Just gained a second in, what, a couple corners. There we go, down. Oh, Pons is down. MacDonald all over as that Surin. Getting past the Malaysian. Now into this hairpin onto the back straight. Very important corner. Got to be gentle and getting onto the power. He's still 3 tenths up as MacDonald. This is a pretty good lap. Need to go to the end of the straight. Break around 50 meters. Get it down to 2nd gear. Turn in a bit early. Oh, a bit late for MacDonald. You should get a good exit though. There's our teammate sets a 54th lap. Where did that come from for the Finn? Yes, that's a much better last corner. Let's see if MacDonald can run towards the line and beat his teammate. Just 53.8. Did it in that final sector. So we've got a battle between the Elusive twins here. Let's return to the pit. And let's see if MacDonald will qualify after those 2 laps. He's still at the top, just ahead of Morbidelli. Teammates on the front row as well. Can it be a double front row for Elusive for the first time? It can. And then Morbidelli 2nd, Luti 4th, Marcus 5th, Oliveira 6th, Bassini 7th, Alasari 8th, Nakagami 9th, and Trotter rounds out the top 10 as we've got Ika right at the back, but right at the front. We've had an amazing qualifying performance for the Elusive twins. Can they make it? The first 1-2 in Moto2 as well. As we look at a brilliant grid, look at that light still and Magnum on the front row, either side of the championship leader Morbidelli. Maybe our teammate can do that at the start, push Morbidelli out wide, make it a 1-2, then we just sail off into the distance. At least that's the plan, as long as they don't take each other out. And that would be good. As we look towards the back of the grid, as you can see, sunny clouds overhead, but still a wet track, as Eco is in last.
The riders have taken up their positions on the starting grid at Motegi and preparing to face one of the most demanding Grand Prix on the entire calendar.
God, and it's good with both bikes on the front row. A clear run to the first corner. Now revs up the engines, waits for the lights to appear. And go out for this 6-lap race. This is not a long run to the first corner, but this time MacDonald's held on. Morbidelli. Let's see if the teammate has jumped Morbidelli as well. As with it being a wet track, you can see very greasy. It should dry up as the race goes on with the sunny conditions overhead. You're going to see a dry line right in the last lap probably. So he goes a bit wide through the left-hander, but holds on to the lead. Ahead of his teammate, it is a 1-2. With Morbidelli down to third. End the race now, please. This MacDonald will probably sail into the distance with these wet conditions though. Let's get down to second. He's got a second gap on his teammate. Luti up to third. Oh, it is not going well for Morbidelli, is it? It's going all things elusive at the moment. Get into the left. Oh, we almost spun up the rear wheel there. But what fantastic rain dance we're having. Once again here in Japan, just like last season. And just when he needs it as well, his teammates come into play. 1.3 seconds back ahead of Luti. Got Morbidelli off the podium. But Marquez or Olivier are not taking advantage of that. They're way down the order. Oh, as we say that, Morbidelli gets past Luti, commentator's curse. We go through the chicane at the end of the lap. It's gone to the second lap, it is a 1-2. And with Luti and Morbidelli battling, the Finn's got a bit of a gap behind as well. 1.7 seconds ahead is MacDonald. But of course he did the fast out in the open at 57.2. Once he settles in, it'll be 55s, maybe even 54s. This race. It is a long race, 6 laps. It's all going slightly wide, and see the dry line already appearing slightly in patches. May not be as good as Codemaster's wet weather system. Or used to be as good as Codemaster. They kind of messed it up slightly for 2017. Still looks fantastic, but wet weather's a bit strange on that game for you compared to the AI, but there's a nice system Milestone we've got here. The track drying while the race goes on. As you can see, it rains as well, and then the track gets wetter. Going slightly wide. So yeah, it's nice to see that from Milestone. Hopefully they can expand it a bit more with the new engine, like we've seen with MXGP3. When they went to the Unreal Engine, brought all these wet weather conditions, all these different weather conditions to the game. After previously only having dry weather. This MacDonald almost 3 seconds ahead of his teammate. He's not waiting for anyone this race. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them get a bit more dynamic with this as well. Even more dynamic and making it look a bit better as well. This is slightly basic looking, I would say. But still, as I said, nice feature to have during these races. Going to the third lap. Did I say 54s? 53.5 from MacDonald. Showing off already on this second lap. As the clouds are actually dissipating in the sky, and it looks like it's actually just getting sunny. can see just a lap later, look at that dry line up here. Definitely is going to be a dry line at the end of the race. Because it's now 4 seconds ahead of his teammate. Morbidelli sticking in third though. Hope the thing can hold him off. As the big winner of this race, apart from, you know, us, is Morbidelli. Might have virtually guaranteed himself the crown by finishing in third on the podium ahead of Marquez and Oliveira. MacDonald not really a threat, but you never know, he could get in the top 3 in the championship. Especially if Oliveira is having one of his off races once again. As the KTM man hasn't been as consistent the second half of the season. Since Glitchgate, basically, he hasn't been that good. So what's the gap now? Almost 5 seconds as you come to the end of the first half of the race. Tyre wear non-existent as well. You can just ride so smoothly at the front. Look after the tyres. And the bike, not even spinning up the wheels, haven't done that since the first lap, I don't think. He's almost into the 52s. He is in the zone, 53.1. Taking a slightly wider line, as you can see in that first part. And now that's spinning up the wheels, as you can see, is almost a virtually dry track now. Just on this 4th lap. Just really off the line, it's not, it's still a bit wet. So maybe got to look out for these tyres on the final lap. Because of course they are wet with the tyres. We've just got to go off the line occasionally, cool them down. So I'm not sure that is actually a part of the game. You have to cool down the tyres. Could be a cool feature. Again, maybe something they can do for the next game. New engine. I'm not pinning all my hopes that they will drastically improve this game, MotoGP 18, but just take off the rough edges, which has always been the problem with Milestone. You know, with the frame rate, the glitches, the bugs, kind of inherit with this engine that MotoGP 17 and previous games have been on. If Unreal doesn't look as bad, even though they still had issues with MotoGP3, especially online. But with esports now becoming a thing, especially on the PS4 version of the game, you can actually look at online and try and make stable servers. That would be nice. You know, if you look at online racing as a whole for racing games, not the most impressive batch, I would say. With the Milestone games, not very good. With Kilotons, WRC game, not that great. When it works, it's actually not that bad, but just getting the people, getting the presence online. Not many people bothered, basically, about online racing. And the rally game, you know, going head to head with other people. Don't really blame them, to be honest. And of course you see the problems with the F1 games as well from Cody, so they've just gone downhill with online. And 2017 was the worst online experience since 2015. But it seems like they fixed a few things, so maybe it's actually playable now. Should give that a go soon. To go through the right. Thought that curve might trip us up. As again, the Finn holding on to second over Morbidelli, doing a fantastic job. And you look at online from Forza, that's horrendous. Because it's basically, it's a Wild West, there's no rules. You can just do whatever you want in public lobbies. In private's a bit better, as in all racing games. And you're racing people you know and people who are actually a bit more respectful. But then you have Project Cars 2 of their system. Be interested to see if that works. It's kind of a console version of, or their version of iRacing system, apart from having, you know, the races at certain times. because iRacing is definitely the model to follow, and the model that it looks like games are now trying to catch up to with Project Cars, with Gran Turismo as well, Gran Turismo Sport having that license system. As we go on to the final lap of this race, so it looks like online racing might actually improve, but we'll see. We'll see with GT Sport coming out very soon. Looking forward to that, because I haven't played Gran Turismo game in ages, since 4, and I absolutely love 4. One of my favourite games of all time, Gran Turismo 4. If I could find my PS2, I would play it all over again. Especially watching, I think it's Jimmy Broadbent's playthrough of it. Definitely is bringing all that nostalgia back, and all those good memories I had playing that game. But yeah, I haven't played Gran Turismo in over a decade, so I'm looking forward to what GT Sport brings, even though looking at the footage so far, looking at how it's described and what Polyphony have brought out there, Polyphony, not the most impressive, but we'll see with the game. Let's go into the last half of this final lap. It's been a strong apart once again for MacDonald in these tricky conditions. Again, hopefully something that Milestone looks at for the next game, making our opponents a bit more competitive in these conditions. If these are, if I was on the top level, it might be competitive, but this is the second highest level, and as you can see, just cruising at the front. They've been pushing it hard on this final lap. You can see tyre wear virtually non-existent, around a third for both tyres. As you go through the chicane and out of it, and MacDonald wins in Japan once again. But is it an elusive 1-2? Let's find out. As the Finn held on by a second from Morbidelli, it is the first elusive 1-2 in Moto 2. Fantastic. Well done to the Finn ahead of Morbidelli. Oliviero recovered to 4th ahead of Luti. Alex Marquez down in 6th. Not a good race at all. Baldassarri 7th, Bassini 8th, Sabi 9th. Magnai round out the top 10 of Marini, Nakagami, Quartararo, Brad Binder, and Agata grabbed the final point by a second and a half ahead of Axel Pons. That's a pretty big gap, with Locatelli right at the back. So in the championship, Morbidelli leads by 23 points from Marquez, just like in Notoku. He's challenging his teammate. He's dropped back once again, with Oliviero 10 points back of the Spaniard. We're just 6 points behind. Oliviero can definitely get the top 3 in the championship, maybe even second. Again, Morbidelli might be out of reach with only a couple of rounds remaining, with Baldassarri in 5th. At least will guarantee the top 4 position now, with Bassini 6th, Luti 7th, the Finn up to 8th head of Bagnai. After a slow start to the season, he definitely has been a point scoring machine after the beginning third of the season. The Sabi ran out the top 10 of Marini. Looking further down, we've got Brad Binder up to 18th ahead of Surin. Well, Manzi still is the holder of the wooden spoon for the time being. Has Calix our first, KTM second, Tech 3 40 points ahead of Suta, virtually guarantees them third in the championship. And then they virtually guaranteed 4th in the championship ahead of Speed Up, as they lead by 38 points. As he has very happy Elusive and the clones as well. Shame it's a back-to-back, otherwise we'll be partying long and hard into the night, as MacDonald really did surf the wave there. As we have unlocked Noe Haga as well from 2001. One of my favourite riders growing up, Noe Haga. I don't think it's possible to hate that guy. He was absolutely brilliant on a motorcycle. Deserved a bit more success than he had. Probably one of the best riders to never win the World Superbike Championship, and had some Grand Prix years as well. So yeah, I really did love Noe Haga. Absolute legend. Has, yeah, MotoGP riders right at the back. A 1-2 in Moto 2 and a 2-3 in Moto 3. Fantastic from the Argentine and the Italian. Has, they are second and third in the championship now. As Alejandro improved his throttle management, Andrea improved his braking, MacDonald improved his braking and throttle management, the Finn improves everything apart from his throttle management, the same for Juan, while Yang improves everything apart from his braking and a decent haul credits and reputation. As next time out, we'll be heading to the Philippine circuit in Australia on the background, and that's a pretty kind circuit to MacDonald last season. Can he win again? Can our Moto3 riders return to the podium, and can our MotoGP riders not finish last? Find out next time. So, for watching, I'll see you then.